think we all seen this coming. If we haven't already seen this coming, I'm afraid to say you must have been asleep, everybody. Because I seen this coming. I knew some way. I knew it myself because they're putting out these water meters. And Irish Water, got a big boost in funding in the last budget. And obviously they want to privatise. That's the end goal of privatising Irish Water. And making people pay a huge sum of money for it. So basically, I knew they would bring this in, and how they're using the environment to do this. I don't know. Again, we have one country that's surrounded by water, and we have water literally everywhere around us, and it rains half of the year. What more do you want? I could leave our 3 barrels out the back here for a day, and it'll probably be nearly full. In this weather, because it just constantly rains every once in a while. And that rainwater might be better off than any of the any of the water you probably get through your tap. But yeah, they're using the environment. And I understand the second thing to talk about here, just to say, with cows and lorries and things like that, the way they should have kept the old train system, with the used to, because the train system was walking, but they just couldn't be bothered to pay for it. That's why they got rid of it. That was walking officially. Again, if they had proper means for people to go around the place, I don't see the need for people to, because again, people are spending a huge amount of money on insurance, and tax and everything like that for cows. I think people would rather take a train or take a bus. I think they would rather do that. At least in comfort. Again, people are struggling to pay for that. I know people that are struggling to pay for the tax and the insurance and the car. It's ridiculous. So I understand that, but again, this is what the CM is. The Organisation for Economic Cooperation Development has warned that Ireland needs to, quote, meet its target on environmental targets. So basically what they're trying to say, we'll all have to pay for Irish Water. And guess what? Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, because they'll probably have these cronies, they're probably bankers or some fucking bondholders or something like that in this committee. And guess what? Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael won't say no. Remember 500,000 people turned up in the streets of Dublin. Remember half the country said they won't pay it. They will go to prison before they pay it. And people were right. People were dead right. I slapped them on the back, every one of them. Because they're dead right. We pay too much as it is. And what do we get for it? Fuck all. We get fuck all. It goes to the politicians. We don't get, the people don't get much of it. It doesn't go to the community. We don't see it in the community. So, we don't see it put towards house. We don't see it being put towards things that matter. Again, we see the politicians have big fancy cars, big fancy houses, fucking landlords and everything like that. Again, we see that, but we don't see them actually doing something with the money. Because the housing waiting list is still as high as it ever was. People can't afford a house. Young people coming out of college have to emigrate. I could go forward, I could go on, I can go on, and I can go on homelessness, for example. People, especially these children, can't go to school because the world won't pay for them to go back to school, won't pay for an SNA, and they'll be 2023 before someone can go back, 2026 in some cases. And there's no funding, there's no money for it, but apparently they have money for themselves. But anyway, so this is what they're going to bring in. They're going to bring in this. When you see, they'll be bringing in bigger charges on people for driving their car. When you see, you literally be better off probably walking and cycling. Which is what they want you to do. And again, walking and cycling is good for your health, but again, what they want you to do, they want you just to literally live on your bike. Like the Green Party, I often say Fine Gael on bikes. Literally the Green Party will never see the light of day in the next election. Literally they're coming down, literally as soon as, I bet you anyone to be out with this now before Christmas, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, oh, we have to do this. Dennis O'Brien, he needs a bit of extra bucks in his back pocket, and that's why we make sure Dennis is in good shape. And they're bringing this out before Christmas, and when you see, and then they'll be using COVID-19 as an excuse. They'll probably ban the protests. Any protests at all, they'll be like, no, send in the police, send in the guards, send in the tanks, blow them up. This is a disgrace. This is what they'll be like. This is what they use as an excuse, because it's a very convenient situation for them, isn't it? Nobody can protest really against it. Nobody can really have civil disobedience. Because you'll be able to say they broke the COVID laws and they'll be put to prison for the rest of their lives. And if they went down and shot somebody, they'll be given a medal for it. And then if they threw somebody underneath a train, they'll be given a medal for it too. Which is the country we live in nowadays. If you commit a crime, a real crime that's in the law, you get a medal for it. You really just get a certificate and everything for it. You meet the person and everything for it. And if you do something that you're trying to stand up for yourself and stand up for your community and stand up for your country, well, no, that can't not be tolerated. We're going to destroy you. But yeah, this is it. And I think everybody's seen this coming. Green Party, my fucking hole. They couldn't, like, again, this is not the main thing. As they keep saying to him and White, he's talking nonsense. Ireland has 1% of the global emissions. It's China. If you look at China, nobody ever talks about China. Apparently they don't exist, but apparently they are in Ireland. Apparently they give them money to the Irish government and have TikTok's headquarters in Dublin. But you nothing to see here, children. RT doesn't want you to see it. But yeah, apparently it doesn't exist. But again, China, the Middle East, countries out there pumping oil out of the ground 24 hours a day, 7 days. That's not that true. Having a few cows in the field here in this country farming. And then they're like, kill it all, get rid of them, throw them in the lake, get rid of them, so cut them down, this, that, and the other. Even though China, and then when you mention China, they're like, look away, children, nothing to see here. Like, you think Eamon Ryan would have a bit of balls and go up to the Chinese ambassador and be like, do something about your country. But he won't. I would have respect for him if he went up to the Chinese ambassador. Why would we change our way of life if you are making the earth more toxic and everything like that? From use pumping black smoke into the air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that's where the plastic comes from, born into the atmosphere. Again, and the complaint about Ireland, probably with 2-3 people lighting a fire in a village and they're literally up in arms about it, the world. This is the country we live in. It's a great country.